Yes, hello everyone. My name is Karin Jonegård and I work here at the University of Skövde as international coordinator. And these are my colleagues. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I also work here at the University of Skövde as an international coordinator for the international office.
And hello, my name is Ben Ruffenborg. I am a lecturer in bioinformatics at University of Skövde, and I'm also the program coordinator for the AI for Bioinformatics Master's Program.
And as you see here, the first thing is congratulations, you have been admitted to the University of Skövde, and we're really glad that you are able to join us to this webinar, but also in the spring when you will start your program. And we will give you an introduction to everything you need to know, prepare you very firmly for coming here to the University of Skövde. But before we start with that, we just want to just brag a bit about that we became the Student City of the Year. So the thing is that the Swedish National Union of Students, every year they award us a city that has a university in it to become the Student City of the Year. And this year we got it. And it is the reason why we got it is that we won the award, is that we are a city that is really good to connect the surrounding community as well, working together. The municipality, for example, has like a great introduction as well. They have career programs and a couple of things more. We also won it because we have such a nice welcome for new students, international and national students. As mentioned, the contact that students have with the business and the public sector, but also the increased ability of student housing. So you see here, there is yeah, this is from actually our international introduction in the autumn, but we will of course give you an international introduction during the spring as well. We will get back to you about that later on.
Awesome. So, like Karin said, we're very proud that we are Student City of the Year, and we're so happy that you're coming here to join us. And today we are going through our little agenda here. We have Benjamin here, who's one of our program directors, but we'll also be joined later by our other program director for the other program that you guys will be studying. So you will get to meet both of them. And we will also give you some information, of course, regarding everything you need to know before you arrive here in Skövde, but also some things that you need to know after you've arrived and some practical info that we can give you tips on. And at the end of the session, we will also have a Q&A where you can ask any questions that you think of during the session. So we will have our Q&A section open in this Zoom. So we appreciate if you ask all of your questions there and not in the chat, please, because we will go through the Q&A at the end of the session. So over to you, Karin.
Yes, so again, welcome. We will have Benjamin talk a bit about our programs here. And this is, of course, yeah, you will get the QR code here as well to the program or the School of Bioscience, so you can see a bit more. Here are some really lovely pictures as well. So, Benjamin, you can just mention some short information about the programs to remind them from the webinar we had before.
Yes, so I'm the I'm the coordinator for the AI for Bioinformatics Master Program, and I believe the other program is the biomedicine, right?
Exactly.
Yes, the master program in biomedicine. Yes. So for the AI program, this is a one-year program, so you get a one-year master degree when you finish it. And the theme of the program is it is really geared towards understanding the role of AI and how this has changed the field of bioinformatics in the last 5 or 10 years or so. And we want to give our students both a broad understanding of what the AI field is about, because it's a very broad field, so it's not just in bioinformatics, it affects essentially all areas of society. But since it's a bioinformatics program, we will look at it from the bioinformatics perspective. So the program will start with 2 courses that are geared towards the general introduction to AI, and also some bioinformatics tools and methods that are used in like modern bioinformatics today that you will need to know to continue to work proficiently with bioinformatics in general. So not only with AI, but in analyzing biological data and helping other research groups to perform analysis of clinical or medical data. But the program is also takes a deeper dive into AI and how to use it to answer biological research questions. So in the second period of spring, you will take 2 more courses that are more advanced, and they are designed to give you an idea about how to build different types of AI models and what kind of data they are appropriate to be applied for. So this might be how to analyze gene expression data or protein abundance data or images or clinical parameters and combine different types of data to build more advanced models to predict disease or find biomarkers, for example. And you will also be introduced to the ongoing research field. So you will be taking seminars where you will read and present different recently publications in the research field and understand what kind of applications and problems are people currently working on. Because when you come to the master degree thesis project in the second semester in the autumn, you will be expected to formulate your own kind of small research project or research problem that you will be working on. And this, of course, should be related to the state-of-the-art research that is going on in the field. So therefore, we also embed this in the curriculum, so you will know what kind of research topics are relevant and are currently being worked on. And the master degree project is a 20-week project, so it is whole-time studies for the whole autumn. And then you will be working on a research problem, either locally at our university. So we have ongoing research projects and we have supervisors that you can work with during the project, or you can find an external project, which many of our students do, because we have collaborators and there is generally quite large demand for people who are able to work with AI in general, but also certainly within bioinformatics and biomedicine to be able to address complex biological data and use more advanced models to answer different types of research questions. So you have a lot of freedom in choosing the specific topic you will be working on and also where to perform the thesis. There is a lot of freedom. So I think that pretty much sums up the what I wanted to say about the AI program. So the biomedicine program, I don't think we have the program responsible here, at least not yet. But I can say some things about the program. This program, unlike the AI for bioinformatics, is more experimental or biologically oriented program. So in biomedicine you will be working with different types of molecular or medical data and learn tools you need to be able to generate such data and how to analyze the data, but without going into the computational side. So you will not be taking programming courses or studying bioinformatics in detail in that program. That is more biologically oriented. So I don't think I can say so much more about the biomedicine program, but I mean, if you have questions, I can try to answer questions for both programs. I think you will also be able to meet the program coordinator for the biomedicine program later, and then you can ask them questions about the curriculum, for example, which I don't have it at the top of my head right now.
Thank you so much, Benjamin. We have asked the students if they have any questions about the program. And let's see, we might have gotten one here as well. The first one was, can we apply for jobs in the university during our master? And unfortunately, does the university not offer so many jobs? It is very few jobs that the university will offer you. And basically, sometimes some students get like on a just a few hourly basis helping out with certain events or anything like that. I don't know if you want to add something, Benjamin, about that.
Yeah, just maybe clarify also that our master programs, they are, I mean, the idea is that you're studying whole time, and what we mean by whole time is that you will, like a standard work week, which is 40 hours, so it's 8 hours a day from Monday to Friday. That time should be allocated to studying. So we generally discourage students from working in parallel with the studies, because we know from experience that it takes time away that you need to put on studies, and it will negatively affect your results in the end. So it is not really suitable to have a job that is taking up a lot of time in parallel with your studies, because you're going to get overloaded. And even though you might not be scheduled from 8 to 5, and certainly you won't be normally scheduled from 8 to 5 every day, the time you're not scheduled, you're expected to plan your own studies and, for example, read the course literature and do exercises or do group works and prepare for examination, for example. So all that time will still be used for your university studies. And it's important that you focus on that, because that's going to affect your grades and your chances of passing the courses in the end, of course.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that you highlighted that because, yeah, as Benjamin said, it's 40 hours, but when you come to a new university, a new context, new way of studying, it might even take more hours. So yeah, think about focusing on your studies and jobs, like secondly. So yeah. But we have another question here. How many classes per week? I'm a student of Masters in Biomedicine.
Yeah, so I don't have the schedule for this the biomedicine master program, but in general, I would say for not only these master programs that we give in spring, but in general for our master programs, there are many classes per week. So you can have several lectures and labs, for instance. But in general, for most courses, you are not scheduled like 8 to 5. You might have, let's say you have 2 or 3 lectures one week, and some in the AI program you would have like computer lab exercises mainly. But in the other program you might have other activities apart from the lectures. Yeah, it varies from week to week, basically. It's hard to say a specific number of classes. But there are of course many lectures and labs and other activities per week during the whole program. But not that you won't be like in the classroom from 8 to 5 usually.
And there's another question. Thank you so much. Hello. How many months is the Master in Medicine program?
Yeah, so the biomedicine master program is also 1-year program. So it starts in January, and it is also 1 year from then. So it starts in January and ends the following year in January. So it's 12 months for both of these programs.
Mm-hmm. Another question is, can you please provide more details about the thesis?
Yes. The idea with the thesis is that you will be using what you have learned in the program, and you will have the opportunity to formulate a kind of research problem that you will be working with. So you usually in the beginning you will have a briefer or shorter kind of research proposal or plan that outlines what the problem is that you want to address in the AI program. For example, it might be that you want to combine different types of data that you can get from gene expression and protein and so on. Try to combine that to predict if a patient has cancer, let's say. Then you will describe what kind of methods will you use to achieve that. What kind of methods would be relevant to use to achieve that. And what are the expected outcomes of the project, and how would this contribute to the research field if you imagine this as like a mini research project, how would it contribute to the research field? And that that plan is submitted, and then you get approval if it meets our grading criteria, and then you start working on that project. And you usually, or you always have a supervisor also, so you will have a supervisor. If you do it internally, you will have a supervisor that like follows you throughout the project, and you can discuss with the supervisor how you if your project has a good time plan, if it's too big or too small, and what methods might be relevant to use. That supervisor is going to help you to figure these things out. So they're going to be like a discussion partner in a sense, and also give you feedback on your writing. So when you write the report, because the thesis project is examined with a report, you can write some sections in the report, and the supervisor will provide feedback on that writing, because the supervisor may also be examining usually other thesis projects. So they know what we require to pass for the report to pass. So they can also give you detailed feedback on how can you improve the report so that you meet all of our criteria. And then in the end of the project, after 20 weeks, then you will defend the thesis. So you will have there will be a session where you answer questions, for example, about what you did, and motivate why you did it like this, and show that you understand what you have done, and that you have done it yourself, and so on. That's the idea. And then after you defend, if you pass, then you're done. So then, if you pass all the courses in the program, you apply for a degree, and then you get your diploma.
Perfect, thank you. I just want to highlight there are other questions about insurance and personal number. We will get back to you about that. So we're mainly now just focusing on answering questions related to the program, since Benjamin is here and he will leave within a couple of minutes. So we will get back to all the questions. So no worries, we will make sure that the questions won't be unanswered. But here's another question related to the program. And what is the best way to prepare before classes start, and a recommended reading or background knowledge?
Yes, so usually what we do, and I think this applies in general, but I mean mainly for the courses that I'm involved in, and in many others that I know, we usually publish the course material beforehand, so you can for example read through the lecture. Maybe we have transcripts for the slides in a lecture, then you can read through this in advance, so you know what the lecture is going to be about, for instance. So then you can have a better chance to follow along, and you might have already come up with questions that you want to ask the teacher during the lecture. And if you have a lab, whether it's a wet lab or a computer lab, you might read the instructions for this lab or the exercises for the lab in advance. You can even start working on the exercises before the lab is scheduled, because there's nothing stopping you. And if you do that, maybe you will get stuck, and then you can ask the supervisor in the lab as soon as the lab starts, so you can use the lab time more efficiently if you have prepared in advance. And other than that, you read the course literature. There might be some recordings that you can watch, because we have either recorded lectures, or we can have other video material that is high quality that we include in the curriculum. Then you can watch these, and you can try to grasp as much as possible before you come to the lecture or the seminar, and then you will be able to ask relevant questions and use the time the best.
Thank you so much. We have a question here related to biomedicine, and I'm thinking we will answer that when Katarina comes later on. I think she will come about 10 minutes from now. Otherwise, I can't see any more questions to you, Benjamin. So if you have any question, please write it now. Otherwise as well, Benjamin, you might also leave your email or something, how they can get in touch with you.
Sure.
So then you will be able
I can just type my email into the chat, and you can feel free to contact me by email. So I will, this is the fastest way to get in contact, I think, because we we usually answer emails within 24 hours. So you can email any questions you have to me directly, and then I will get back to you. So I just put it in the chat now.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I can't see any more questions here. But as mentioned, if you have any more, just send Benjamin an email and he will get back to you. Otherwise, the other questions are things we will cover really soon, and we will get back to you about the questions directly to biomedicine when Katarina arrives. So, but yes, let's see. Yeah, perfect. So thank you so much, Benjamin. And if you need to leave, you can leave. And if you want to continue hanging around here with us, you're very welcome to do so. So it's up to you. But thank you for coming and answering the questions.
Thank you as well, and thank you for all nice questions. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in Skövde next year. Yeah, and I might stick around for a few more minutes, but yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So this we will, yeah, Katarina will come within 10 minutes and then we will get back to those questions. But yes, we had a bit of a Q&A here. And Sarah, over to you. You're going to explain a bit more about the checklist and other things as well.
Exactly. So thank you so much, Benjamin, for joining us here. And I hope you all learned something valuable from him today. And like we said, don't hesitate to reach out and email if you have other questions. So let us move on now, because we have a very good checklist that is available on our website. And as you can see, we put a QR code on the screen right here. And just for you to know, during this presentation, we will be using a lot of these QR codes. So if you're on your computer, you might want to have your phone ready to just take a little snapshot of that so that you can go back to it later, or just screenshot it on your phone if you're on your phone right now. So you can come back to it later, because these are things that you are going to want to remember and need probably for the future. This checklist is one that our admissions team has developed, and it is here to prepare you for the most important steps that you need to get ready to come here to Sweden, both before you arrive, while you're here, and also give you some helpful and useful information that you are going to need. So Karin is going to talk about step 1 right now.
Yeah, exactly. So you saw here this lovely picture as well, as Sarah mentioned. So we will start here before arrival. So you will follow this, as Sarah mentioned, it's our admission team has done this very pedagogical picture here that Sarah has also helped out, so you will be able to follow us. And the first step is, as you notice here, the download of notification of selection results. And this is something that has been published on universityadmission.se. You know, when you applied to the university, you applied through university admission. There is where you will find your notification of selection result. It is an official admission document, so this is what you need. The key info are all in the last pages. And for you who are non-European EIE citizen, please use it to apply for residence permit. As mentioned, official document. And you can just see here that there's some information here about understanding your results. For example, when you have been admitted, and all those kind of things, explaining things. Here is also some educational information when the semester starts, when it ends, the more specific dates. Also some more information about that the students are covered from this insurance that we will get through a bit more later on, but just so you know how it looks. You also, yes, received a welcome email.
Exactly. So you should by now have received your welcome letter from the University of Skövde. It was sent out to you on the same day as you received your admission. Yeah, so in this email, you have a lot of useful information, and a lot of the information that was in your email is actually what we're going to talk about here today as well. So you can keep this email to reference back to. Make sure you go through all the links and everything, because you will need this information for in the future. And we will also have probably a lot of repetition for you if you've already gone through it today. But yeah, just to give you an idea of what it looks like if you haven't seen it. And if you haven't gotten it at all, you can download it from this QR code that's right here. Yeah, so if you are here right now, which you are, and we're happy that you are, you already know that we offer webinars, which is great. But there's also some information in your welcome letter about the webinars. We will have a live Q&A webinar on the 30th of October at 1. That CET means Swedish local time, in case you didn't know. So we will go through a lot of things to prepare you for your studies here in Sweden. And these webinars are always held via Zoom.
And yes, so now we're moving on to concerning the sorry.
Yeah, no. Sorry. Yeah, we're moving on to the tuition fee, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so now you've downloaded your documents on step 1. Good job if you've done that already. And you're moving on to step 2. And step 2 is your tuition fee. So this applies to non-EU EEA citizens because you all receive payment instructions by email. If you're an EU or EEA citizen, it's important to note that you are not paying tuition fees. So this only applies to the non-EU EEA citizens. And for all of you, it's important to read the tuition fee guidelines. You can find them in the QR code that's right here. If you have been awarded a scholarship, that amount is going to be deducted from your invoice. So just be aware of that. And we accept bank transfer, debit or credit card when you pay, but you must pay the fee in Swedish kronor, SEK. So to get your invoice, you will be logging into Ladoc for Students. The login page looks like this, and you also have a QR code here that will take you there directly. To log in here, you must know that you need to use the same credentials as you used when you registered at universityadmissions.se. So it's important to remember those credentials so that you can get into Ladoc. From Ladoc, you can download your tuition fee invoice, and a couple of days after you've paid that invoice, you will be able to download the payment confirmation. And this is also a very important document that you must submit when you apply for your residence permit. So make sure that you download that on time. And Karin is going to talk more about your residence permit right now, aren't you?
Yes, but really short because I noticed
Yeah.
that Katarina came. So I think I'm going to let Katarina talk a bit about her program because we had some questions to Katarina as well. So Katarina, are you there?
We'll do a cliffhanger here on the
Yeah,
residence
cliffhanger.
permit.
Absolutely. That's absolutely great. So welcome, Katarina.
Thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
We hear
you.
you.
Yeah, sorry, it was a bit double booked.
No worries. We're glad that you're here. Do you want to say some short words about your program to the
Yeah, I
students?
guess these are students that are already admitted to the program,
Yeah.
Exactly.
right? Yeah. So I guess you know the major parts of the biomedicine program. We have a human genetic focus on the program. So it's both biomedical, sort of genetic, biological backgrounds, but also tools to investigate biomedical questions, but with focus on genetics. So the first semester is courses here in Skövde, and the second semester is thesis work that you can do here, or you can do it in another university if you want and have the connections.
Thank you. Perfect. We already had some questions for you, so we'll
Okay.
dive into that. And what are the total theory credits hours and lab work credit hours for biomedicine? What are the total theory credits hours and the lab work credits hours for medicine?
For the program.
Yeah, exactly. How many credits, how many courses will it be for the theory and lab, or perhaps you're mixing, you know?
Yeah, we're mixing, so I have to think now.
Mm,
So the first course, that's the first few weeks, we have digital labs because then it's an opportunity for students that have a problem with their visa applications that you can be a few weeks late and still be admitted to the program. So that's why you don't have it on-site labs those first few weeks. But then we have 3.5 credit lab work in the next course. That's in the lab, so hands-on lab. And then in the next, we have a lot of the half of the semester. The first semester, we have sort of sessions with data analysis. That's almost the whole part, major part of the course. And then we also have sort of like a mini thesis work where you can choose to do a sort of lab work based project or a data analysis based work. So there the students can choose what's their main interest. And then the last semester, of course, you can have lab intense thesis work, and then you have lab in approximately 10 weeks. Or you can have a more data analysis based thesis work, then it's more heavy data analysis.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Then there's the next question. Does the program help us in working in hospitals later on?
Yeah, yes, it could be possibilities to sort of work in a hospital lab or at least in Sweden, there are some students have continued doing that. So we're not specializing in it, but there are possibilities.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes, and thank you. Another question. I have a question regarding any recommended reference materials to prepare for the human genetics and translational genetic courses so I can start preparing before the semester begins.
Yeah, so if you look at the course plans, there's a book recommended. That's the same book for both these courses. And the first 5 chapters, it's sort of background material. That's really good to read. So you get the book early and study those. It's good to have your cell biology background and also sort of basic genetics because we jump right into the human genetics. So it's good to prepare with sort of the basic genetics. Mm.
Uh, Thank you. Do this program, biomedicine, has opportunity in pharmaceutical in Sweden or in other countries?
Um, we don't specialize in sort of towards the pharmaceutical industry, but it is you could do like thesis work in the pharmaceutical industry or sort of life science industry if you get sort of the contacts. But pharmacy is not the main focus on the program.
Mhm. Thank you. And yes, we have questions, but they're not related to the program specific, and they're more about other things related to residence permit and stuff like that. And we will get back to you about that later on. Uh, I would kindly ask, yes, and then are there works provided for biomedicine master students on campus or in the laboratories? Another question.
Yeah, of course you can do your thesis work. Was it the thesis work or was that the question? No?
Oh, it can be other works. I think it might be ordinary having like an extra job. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's
Usually
extra.
extra job things, we're kind of a small university, not that much. So usually it's difficult to get that type of jobs here. But of course you can do the thesis work here. That's our course, so that will be a possibility. But you could also find a place in a bigger research group at another university. And many students do find this type of thesis works too. Since we're a small university, we don't have that many research groups, but we do have some research. But these work opportunities are usually rare.
Mhm. Thank you. And I want to ask the students if you have any more questions to Benjamin and Katarina, please write them now so they will be able to answer them because I think they might have to leave soon. They're, of course, allowed to be here during the whole webinar if they want to, but otherwise, please just write them and we will answer them. And also, before Katarina, I said that Benjamin had put his email. If you want to do that as well, put your email there. If the
In the
in the chat, if the students have any more questions, so they can get in touch with you later on, if it's okay.
Yep.
Perfect. I can't see any more questions here. Can you see any, Sarah?
No, I can't see any either that are related to the programs.
Mm. So we haven't, no, can't see any more. So, but thank you so much both Benjamin and Katarina for joining us and answering questions. There was a couple of them, so I'm so glad that you had the time to come here. And feel free to stay longer if you want to, and if you leave, we totally understand. But yes, I will continue talking about. We had been talking about the whole thing about downloading your notification of selection results and about paying tuition fee. Not everyone needed to, only those who were non-European or EAA students. And now I'm going to continue about to apply a residence permit and health insurances. So, as mentioned, as a EU EIA citizen, you have the right of residence permit and can work, study, or live in Sweden without. Yes, as a residence, yes, as a European EIA citizen, you have the right of residence, and you can work, study, and live in Sweden without a residence permit. I misread there. Employed, self-employed, or students can or can support themselves. But you don't need to contact the Swedish Migration Agency. So if you belong to this category, you don't have to think about it. Now we're going to continue talking a bit about the non-European EEA citizenships, basically. First of all, residence permits of studies. We need to clarify it's not a visa. Swiss citizens admitted for more than 3 months must apply for residence permit for studies as well. And apply online directly on the Swedish Migration Agency website. You can see the QR codes. We have them continuously here as well. I remember if we said when we're recording this webinar, and if the recording turns out well, we will of course send you a link so you can see everything again and follow the whole procedures. And you can see here the residence permit of studies apply after the first installment of the tuition fee is paid. Application won't be processed until after payment. But also check the requirements online at the Swedish Migration Agency. It is very important that you don't wait with paying until the last minute. Pay as soon as possible and do your application as soon as possible after that. Because if you wait to pay your tuition fee, it will complicate the process if the migration agency have some extra questions or something happens along the way, so to say, and they need to have some extra information, then it will take a longer time. So important to do that. The permit duration when you're applying is for a 1-year master that you're going to study here, both of those two masters that you have been applied for. The students that are participating here are 1-year masters. You can apply for 13 months from 14 days before the program starts until 14 days after the program finish. So basically, you can find the start and end date found on your notification of selection results. We showed that a bit before earlier when we showed your screenshot. So when you see when the first date of the when the program starts, you can apply 14 days before that date, and you can apply 14 days until after the program has finished. The required documents that you need for an application is the notification of selection results, letter of acceptance. And as mentioned before, download the PDF file from universityadmission.se. You need to have a proof of paid tuition fee. That was why I was highlighting, try to pay the tuition fee as soon as possible. Don't wait until the last moment, because it might happen that you will be delayed due to that, because then there will be more students at the same time that the migration board need to process. So please do that. Proof of emergency health insurance. You also have that, as mentioned, on the notification of selection results, that when you are here, you are covered by this insurance. Only you, not your families, only you as an individual. A passport that is valid for the duration of the residence permit dates. So if you don't have a passport that will, not be valid for the whole period, please, as soon as possible, get a new passport that will be valid for those dates. A bank statement in your name in English, currency clearly stated, not issued more than 4 months before the start of the permit period. Important as well. And we have some tips. Sarah, do you want to give them your best
Absolutely.
tips?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's very important that you calculate the correct amount of money for the living costs when you are applying. We will talk about living costs a little bit further down the line here, but that's a very important tip for you. If you're bringing family members, children, whatever it may be, your spouse, it's really important that you apply at the same time. So you get your residence permit at the same time. You should only submit your application when you have all documents, because you are not able to edit this after you've sent it in. So make sure you wait until you have all of your documents. And if you have missing documents, you will have to file for that, and it will take much longer to complete the process. So just make sure you have everything there when you apply. If you have a passport that's about to expire, you will need to extend it. And I think, Karin, how long does it have to be valid for?
The passport?
Yeah,
The passport has to be valid for all the time that you're here. So
you're
if you
here in
come,
Sweden.
yeah, exactly. So when you're applying, so if you, for example, you will start in January and then you will leave in January, make sure that you also have those extra 14 days after the program finish, that the passport is covering all those dates.
Perfect, thank you. So you also have to write your reasons for studying in Sweden, and this is going to be your motivation. So focus on writing about your program, how your program is going to help you in the future, what you're going to be studying, why you want to be studying in Sweden. Focus on things like that, and make sure that you write it in your own words. Don't use ChatGPT for this, because it's just not a good idea. Make sure you write it in your own words, and focus on referencing things in your own life, things that make it personal and relatable. That's what they like. Also, if you are called to attend an interview at the embassy, make sure that you have really read up on your program beforehand. This is super important, so that you know the name of your program, what your program is about, the courses you're going to be taking, because you never know what questions they're going to ask you there. So just make sure that you've read up on it. And another thing that is really, really, really important, I can't stress this enough, is that you must have a certain amount of money in your bank account when you come here, and we will talk about this later. But that money that you have in your bank account, that money must remain in your bank account to be used while you are living in Sweden. So you can't move that money from your bank account to a relative or a cousin, whoever it may be, while you're here. You have to keep that money because otherwise you're not going to be approved for your residence permit. And when you have or when you have received a positive decision, it's called a beslut. It looks something like this. You can see the picture down here. You will receive your residence permit card. Yeah, so that's the goal here of this whole process.
Yes, and I'll continue just talking a bit about the citizens of EU or EIA or Nordic countries. And in the European Union, we have this health insurance, as well as the Nordic and Swiss citizens. So it means that you have access to essential healthcare if you register beforehand at a social insurance office in your home country and obtain this European health insurance card, which is very important that you bring to Sweden. You need to have it and bring it. That's really good. And also, this card is just like it is a bit of magic belonging to being a European citizen. It means that he will guarantee you to receive the same medical care as a Swedish citizen at the same cost, but also needed in order to get your right of residence once you arrive to Sweden. When it comes to non-European EIA citizen, it's like all students who pay tuition fees at the University of Skövde will be covered by this FAS Plus. There's also another one if you're a European citizen, like that is called Student In, but FAS Plus is for all students that come outside of Europe. And it's covered 24-hour stay from 2 weeks before the semester until 2 weeks after the semester, which means that if you come like 3 weeks in advance, you need to have your own insurance that will cover the first week, because you will only be covered 2 weeks in advance and 2 weeks afterwards by this insurance from the university. And FAS Plus, as it's called, it is accepted by the Swedish Migration Agency as a comprehensive health insurance. It's enough to obtain a residence permit and enter Sweden. And if you bring family, you need to have insurance for them because it only covers the students who are studying here. Very important to remember. And also your notification of selection results can be used as an insurance certificate. The insurance do not cover symptoms or illnesses that are insured had before traveling to Sweden. So if you have like a kind of chronic disease or anything, it will not be covered. If you're pregnant and you come here, it will not be covered because it's something you were before you entered the country. Please also read the insurance term and conditions that are available here. Terms and condition fee paying students with poverty covered by FAS Plus 2021. Kammarkollegiet. Here's the link and the QR code. And as mentioned, again, family members are not covered. And let's move to step number 4, applying for D visa. And you should apply for D visa once your residence permit is granted, because a D visa makes things become a bit easier. A D visa allows you also to travel to Sweden without the residence permit card because sometimes you have been approved for your residence permit and you're just sitting and waiting for the card, but you can get the card in Sweden. So then it's better to just come to Sweden if you have already been granted. If you haven't been granted, then it's a bit more problematic. But to be able to get a D visa, you need to contact your local Swedish embassy, and please also use your notification of selection results.
Great, Karin. So you've made it now to step number 5. Congratulations, you're halfway through this first process. Awesome. So let's talk about applying for accommodation because you need somewhere to live, right? So at the university, we have university student housing, and these are going to be furnished rooms. We have 4 accommodation areas for this. One thing that's really important about these is that no families or pets are allowed in these. So if you're a student with a family or a pet, we will talk about that a little bit later. First, I'm just going to cover this about our own student housing, which we recommend that you apply for firsthand. The rent for these is going to be somewhere around 365 to 460 euros per month. And you should apply for these as soon as you receive your admission. So hopefully you've already applied. If not, you have the QR code right here. And you should apply as soon as you can, basically. Yeah, let's see here. Do you have anything you want to add to that, Karin, or are we good?
No, I think we're pretty good.
We're pretty
It's
good,
like
yeah.
just check out the housing on the website as well, on the QR codes, and then you can decide which type you find is the most interesting.
Yeah. So like I said, if you are coming with a family or you're coming with pets, you have to instead apply for another way of living other than the student accommodations. We recommend looking at the largest landlord in Skövde, which is called Skövdebostäder. They don't have furnished rooms, but families and pets are allowed, and you can put their name in their queue as soon as you receive your admission. So we have a QR code for that right here where you get directly to their website, and you can put your name in the queue now, basically. They have separate queuing systems for student apartments and for rental apartments. So that's good to remember that you can put your name into both of those. Additionally, if you're bringing children here to Sweden, we have preschool. We call it förskola. This is for the age 12 months to 5 years of age. And the wait list is usually around 6 months for this. If you want to apply for that, it's not necessary that you have an address in Skövde, but you have to be able to prove that you will live here. Both parents must also be working or studying to qualify for a spot at preschool. And we also have elementary school, which is for children 6 to 15 years of age. You don't have to pay tuition for elementary school in Sweden. And you can read more about both of these in these QR codes right here, if they apply to you. And if you have questions, you can contact the municipality of Skövde kommun down here. This is their phone number and their website. Finally, if you're coming with pets, like I said, they're not allowed in the furnished apartments. You will have to find another place to live. And also make sure that you really check all the rules and regulations, because Sweden is quite strict with bringing pets into the country. They might need vaccinations, passports, all those things. So make sure you check that ahead of time. Okay, moving on to step number 6, Karin.
Yes. Yes, and then we have something called a conditional admission if you're final year student, and I will guide you a bit further in about that. So first of all, what is a conditional admitted? Well, it is if you are in your final bachelor year. To register, you must prove that you have completed your degree by the program start. So, because sometimes I know that people have not finished fully, they have not gotten the degree when we are sitting and having this discussion here for the moment. But you need to have it, you need to prove that you have it when you register, when you're here. And you need to upload the documents on universityadmission.se, the original complete academic transcript, official degree certificate or diploma, or certificate translation if applicable, and email also admission@his.se to notify them of the new documents. That is a really very important as well. At admission is where our colleagues work, so please do that. And Yes, so basically this means that you have to, show that you have fulfilled the eligibility requirements by the start of the program. And yeah, so basically this. But as mentioned, just do all these things that we have told you about, uploading the things, and also send an email to admission. And then, Sarah, you want to talk about the arrival of pickup service? Oh, sorry, you're unmuted.
Yes, I would love to. That sounds awesome. I'd love to talk about that. Are you guys falling asleep? I hope you're still awake and with us. And if you have questions, don't hesitate. Just drop them in the Q&A and we'll get back to them later because we know this is a lot of information for you guys, but we want to try to help you as much as we can. So to help you as much as we can, like I said, we have a pickup service when you arrive here in Skövde. So all the information about that is going to be available on this pickup service webpage, and that will be updated after you received your placement. You can apply for pickup then. Don't apply for it now because you don't know where you're going to be placed. So you might not be placed in the center of Skövde, you might be placed outside, you don't really know yet. So just wait until you know where you're placed. The pickup date for 2026 is going to be January 15th, between 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening CET. And as we learned before, that stands for local time in Sweden. So now you know that in case you didn't. And you can just use this QR code to get to that pickup service webpage, like I said. Also, make sure that you book your trip here and plan your trip here to Skövde well in advance. So you know when you're getting here, you know how you're getting here. And the easiest way is to fly either to Gothenburg or to Stockholm. As you can see on the map, it might be small for you, I'm not sure, but we're right in between these two cities. So either one is fine. And then you can take the train to Skövde. It stops right here in the city center about what would you say, Karin, like 100 meters from the school? Maybe 200?
Yeah, about 3 minutes of walk. I'm more like into
Yeah,
the minutes. I'm so bad with judging how many meters it is. Unfortunately, I'm not the best
yeah,
person, but 3, 4, 5 minutes.
yeah, very close to the school. And you can book train tickets through either SJ or VR, which we have also linked those here for you guys.
Yes, and then I'm going to take you to the next step. So now you see the whole process. We have been guiding you through from where you are now, downloading the notification of selection results, paying tuition fee, apply for residence permit, apply D visa, apply accommodation, conditional admission, final year, arrival pickup, and now we will start when you get closer to coming here. And then it is about activate your student account. So this QR code shows you how to activate your user account, allowing you, for example, to register for courses in Studentportalen as well as view course material in Canvas. So that is also something that you will be able to do later on as well with the student account. And then we start again to talk a bit about upon arrival when you will be joining us here. And first of all, you need to do your registration. Registration is mandatory. It is very important that you do that. You have to do it. It's not just only important, something you just have to do. It is a proof of enrollment and registration in person in Skövde upon arrival, which means that this is something you need to do when you're here. You can't do it online or anything like that. It is physical. And then you will meet our colleagues from the admission office. They will sit here and welcome you. And it's also very important that you follow the instructions via universityadmission.se. And you will be able to do this registration here between the 12th until the 16th of January 2026. You will find more information about the QR code here as well. And so important to read through all the instruction at universityadmission.se carefully. And you will also find schedule. Now the schedule is for the moment it's not up yet because they have not finalized it yet. But you will get information about the closer you get. But we just give you some information that will happen when you are here. It doesn't mean that you have access to it for the moment. But your schedule, you will find them later on in Studentportalen as soon as you have registered for your courses, your login required. So you see, it is a bit further ahead in the future. And yes, over to you, Sarah.
Yes. So another thing that is super fun and exciting for you guys and also really informative when you get here is, of course, the international introduction that we're really proud of here. And we take a lot of time and effort to plan this for you guys so that it's going to be the best week or days of your life, of course. So if you have your calendars ready right now, you should mark January 16th, 2026. This is when you should be here for the introduction program to start. And we will go through academic procedures here in Skövde, everything you need to know about that. We will also go through the facilities, the services. You will get a tour of the campus. You will get to meet these guys, the guy with the blue shirt here that says buddy. You will get to meet them, of course. Your program coordinators, all kinds of staff at the school, and it's usually a really fun event. There's also going to be a social program, and that makes this international introduction a great way to find new friends, of course, when you come to a new country and maybe you don't know anyone. So it's a great opportunity for that as well. But of course, it's also an important time to be able to solve and get help with practical issues or just getting tips on how to study here in Sweden. So make sure that you are here in Skövde on time for the introduction program, and you will need to sign up for this. And there are many regular updates on the introduction program page on our website, and you can find that in the QR code that's listed right here as well. So now over to Karin, who will talk about your first meeting here at the university.
Yes, thank you. The first program meeting is where you're going to meet either Katarina or Benjamin. So then you will see them live. Now you have just seen them online. They're really nice people. So you will enjoy the first meeting as well. The mandatory meeting with the program directors will be held on the 19th of January in the morning. Please also check out the introduction program schedule for updates because for the moment we don't have the timetable or the classroom. You will get that information later on because it's like we're still trying to do the schedule. Our colleagues who are responsible for the schedule are scheduling for the spring. They will start doing that. So that's why we don't have it for the moment. And we also have free Swedish courses. So this is a really great one. The first is course 1 is about the Swedish society and Swedish culture. It is 3 credits, but it's really good to just know when you come here to find out all the small different culture codes that you might otherwise clash. But it is for free when you're taking it the first semester. So when you take this course in January, in the January 2026 semester, it will be for free, 3 credits. So highly recommend you to do that as well. And then we have another course that will also be for free if you take it during the autumn, the second semester. And it is a course about Swedish for international students, where you will get like some basic about talking and listening. You will get some basic Swedish tools, which is really great if you're going to stay here in Sweden to have some basic stuff, knowledge about the language as well. And yes, access
Great.
cards. Yeah.
Thank you, Karin. So here at our university, we use physical access cards. So I'm going to show you this is something like this. Can you see it? I don't know if you can.
Yeah, now we see it. Yeah.
Yeah, good. So you use this for computer rooms, we use it for laboratories. We of course use it for our offices, but you can use it for buildings outside of office hours as well when the university is closed. You can use it for the printers and the copiers. And do you know any more places you can use these cards?
Oh, I think you covered it
I
pretty
covered
well.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like your lifesavers, it's like it is how you get in everywhere and you solve basically all your
Yeah.
problems, not all your buddy. I mean, like getting a copy, getting into the house. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
most
you
important thing.
definitely need it. I forgot mine the other day and I had to go back home and get it. So you
Yeah.
need it here. Yes. We also have library accounts and library cards when you need to use the library, of course. We also have another magic card here in Sweden, which is called the Mecenat card.
Mm.
And this is Sweden's free official student discount card. So it's not just for our university, it's for every university in Sweden. And this is something you receive automatically, actually. It's a digital card that you have on your phone, and it gives you a bunch of really good discounts to a lot of stores, travel, food, all kinds of things here in Sweden. And yeah, you get it shortly after you become a member of the student union, or if you don't become a member of the student union, because you don't have to do that, it's usually around 10 days after you've registered for your courses that you get access to this card. But you will get more information about that when you get here as well. So, some more important information about personnummer, Karin.
Yes, this is also one of the basic things where we're talking about the cards, and now we get into the personal number, personnummer. That is also a very important thing to have. And the residence permit for longer than 365 days, you will be able to get this personal number. It makes your life so much easier if you have it. And since you're studying from the beginning of January until the end of January, if you put like the extra 14 days we were talking about, you will be able to get the personal number. And it's also required to register in the Swedish population register, and you get this personal number. And if you are staying shorter than 12 months, you will get a coordination number, samordningsnummer. Well, it is a possibility if if you have problems and come a bit later on, then you will be able to have a samordningsnummer, coordination number instead. This you can find more information about on the Swedish tax agency Skatteverket, and you have a QR code here about that. And some other useful information we have here is also, for example, bank account. Remember that cash use in Sweden is decreasing. In some shops you can't even pay with normally cash. You need to have a card, and you can use an international accepted debit or credit card. And after you have received your personal number, personnummer, you can also open a bank account in Sweden, which makes things a bit easier as well. And then it means that you can transfer funds from your home bank in your home country to your bank account in Sweden. But please remember, not so much cash. You really need to have that card. It
Yeah.
is very important.
And also, we can stress that you need to be bringing an international card here so you don't think that you can get one here. Make sure that you bring one
No.
here.
Mm.
That's really important, I think. Yeah.
I'm glad that you highlighted that. It's,
Yeah,
as mentioned, very important to bring one, really.
of course. Yeah.
And then we also have the living costs. We will just explain shortly. Food is about 3,000 Swedish crowns. And I would say if you're going to figure out what this is in euros, basically take away 1 0. Basically, it is not totally correct, but you will get the feeling-ish. Accommodation is about 4,000 Swedish crowns. Local travel is about 650 Swedish crowns. However, this is like average costs living in the whole of Sweden. And if you live in Skövde, you will be able to basically walk everywhere. So you might not need to have so much local travel expenses. But be prepared if you need to go from one city to another. The phone internet is about 300 Swedish crowns, and then you have all these other extra things, clothes, books for your studies, etc., and so on. And it's about 2,634 Swedish crowns. So in total, it's about 10,585 Swedish crowns, about 970 euros ish. You can also find more information about accommodation budget study in Study in Sweden. Please check out the QR code. Study in Sweden has quite a lot of information about living in Sweden, coming to Sweden. They also have webinars as well on on a general basis. This is a specific webinar about staying here in Skövde at the University of Skövde, but Study in Sweden also have about just staying in Sweden. Yes,
Yeah,
over to
thank
you
you for
again.
clearing that up, Karin, all of the numbers there. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about our university and the learning environment and teaching style that we use here. I think this is important to highlight because many international students find the learning environments and teaching style can be quite different here from what they're used to. So it's important to know that we are very focused on students' independent thinking in Sweden. This also means that a large part of your learning process is going to take place outside of the classroom. So even though you might look at your schedule and see, oh, I don't have that many classes this week, this is because you're expected to still spend those 40 hours weekly for your full-time studies studying, reading on your own, being an independent student, studying with friends, and just learning from your course material and other students, of course. You will also find that here in Sweden, we have quite a flat and non-hierarchical organization. And that usually means that students and teachers are going to be on a first name basis. So you're not going to be calling your professor Mr. or your professor Mrs. It's going to be Karin and Sarah like we have here today. So we're usually on a first name basis with each other. And we found that this approach actually encourages a dialogue between teachers and students and a collaboration that often becomes really strong between teachers and students as well. Yeah, the student is the center of the education that we provide here at the University of Skövde, and that's really good news for you guys, right? So there's a lot of support from your teachers, and they often focus on enabling you to develop your critical and analytical thinking skills, your independent research skills, your group work skills, and your problem solving, and also your leadership skills. And that's going to come in really handy for your future careers, of course. We are also super proud of something here in Skövde, and that is that we are a very international school. We have 60 plus, I think it's 60 plus nationalities now, Karin, don't you think?
Yeah, or yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, or even
it's a
more. Yeah,
lot. Yeah, we're a
it really
lot
is.
of cultures and international students. The classrooms are very mixed, and we just find that this cultural perspective builds international networks and encourages students to really learn from each other and their cultures. And we just find that that is such a great thing about our school. So yeah, like Benjamin said before, keep in mind that your studies are full-time. So make sure that you spend those 40 hours every week because you're expected to pass your studies. And yeah, also remember to have fun, of course, and enjoy it here in Sweden because it's a great school to be at.
And yes, and of course, we will do our best to help you with everything. So, for example, we have the student support, which means that we have our study and career counselor, or as they are called, our study and career counselors. And they will help you before your studies, during your studies, and of course afterwards. So it's like they are really kind and sweet people who will give you tons of tips on how to organize your studies and other useful information during the introduction week there. And we also think that if you are studying here at the university, you should be able to study even if you have a disability. For example, if you have dyslexia, ADHD, or another form of disability, it could be physically as well. This should never ever prevent you from being a student here at our university. So we will help you with that as well. We will provide various kinds of targets to study support and adaptations in order to make your studies easier. And then you will need to get in touch with Virpi and Annika, our colleagues. You can see Virpi here. You can use the QR code to find out more information about it as well.
Yeah, like Colin said, we have a great support system for students here. And that also includes our university library, which we are super proud of because it's a very modern facility where you have a lot of group study rooms that you can borrow. You also have a lot of up-to-date literature. You have free access to all the books and articles, both in physical form and digital, which is really awesome. And another great thing for students that come here is the study support center that they have at the university library. And you should definitely contact them because they can help you out so much. They help you out with your language, your style and structure when you're writing. They help you with academic writing because that is very different, as we know, from writing normally. Usually, academic writing is a very specific way of writing, and they are experts at that. So they will be able to help you out, of course. They can also help you with study strategies and also referencing and citation, which can be tricky for some students. I just want to say that you should keep in mind that there are some things that they can't assist you with. So you can't ask them to proofread something. You can't ask them about advice about subject content or translation, just so that you're aware. But otherwise, I definitely think you should contact the Student Support Center because they are super, super good at what they do.
Thank you. And you know, everything is not just about studying. When you are here, there is some student life, extracurricular, how do you say it? Curriculum.
Extracurricular, yeah.
Curricular,
That's a
curricular, what's
hard
the hard
one.
word? Yeah, that's a hard one. Because education is better with friends. And the thing is, we have here at the university special interest groups, and we have, of course, the Student Union and ESN. And I just want to highlight that the Student Union represent the students. The students is run by students for students and work with issues that affect students at the university. So they, of course, they will do a lot of fun things, a lot of things, you know, like dinners and other things, but they also are your representatives. So, for example, if we have a committee, there will be a representative of the student. If when our vice chancellor is signing different documents, the president and vice president will also be there because they will be informed and being a part of the process. So the students has through the student union quite a lot of possibilities to affect their programs, their courses, their education on a general basis. And then we also have something called Erasmus Student Network. Even though it says Erasmus, you know, exchange student, it's open for all international students. And they are also there to do a lot of fun things. They do like a sea battle to Estonia, I think, on a ferry, and a lot of really nice trips as well. So there are really fun things to do here, except studying, because studying can be a bit of both, depending on if you're having your exam or not. But yes. And we also have this face group that you can join, and that is called, it's the Swedish name, Studenter vid Högskolan i Skövde. So you can use the QR code. We also have a Discord group for admitted student. Please use the QR code. It's a lovely place where you can, like, you know, meet other students. And also when we want to inform you about things that are going on, we will send you a message there. For example, like when the career program starts, and the career program is offered by the Welcome House of Skövde, which is the municipality of Skövde that is responsible for that. And it's for international professional and master students. And they will help you with getting really great tools and knowledge to prepare you for the Swedish job market. So here you can see all the students. They have been done like a visit to Volvo, because we have both Volvo trucks and cars in Skövde, so we're kind of a Volvo city. We're also a military city, so we have some military as well, and so you will see them as well. And there's a lot of things, you know, they will help you write like cover letters, and how our interview processes will be in Swedish. They will also give you intercultural competences, talk about labor markets, Swedish at work, how to navigate there as well. And yeah, and sometimes perhaps if you want to start up your own business.
Exactly. Thank you, Karin. So you've
You're
been
welcome.
talking for a while now, so let me take over.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So let me tell you about our student ambassadors that we have. We're super lucky to have some awesome student ambassadors here at our school that are here to help you guys when you come here. These are all experienced students that represent different programs at our school, and they will be able to answer a lot of your questions directly. So feel free to contact them. You can scan the QR code here to get to their specific page on the website, and you can read more about them and find out which one of them you would like to contact that is the most similar to the program maybe that you're going to be studying. We also have some other ambassadors that have been selected to be ambassadors for study in Sweden. And these are some of our past students that are ambassadors for study in Sweden now. And you can read more about their stories in these QR codes if you are curious. Yeah, I definitely recommend that you do because their stories are very interesting. Yeah. Was that it, Karin?
I think we've covered basically everything. Yes, so we're really looking forward
Oh, nice
to welcome
one. Love
you.
that for us.
To welcome you here to our university in January. So, and it's so beautiful. You can see the different seasons here. So, for the moment, you can see the season we have behind us here. It's the autumn, so it's so beautiful. And then the winter will come, and if you're lucky, there will be a bit of snow. And then the spring comes, and then the autumns. And you will have the pleasure of going through all these amazing semester. It was called different parts of the year and seasons. And you will find something good with every one of those. So you will enjoy them really well. And just to say that if you have any questions, you can always send an email to study@his.se. We will we will soon start to have a Q&A, but when we start a Q&A, we will actually switch off the recording. So that's why if you are looking at this webinar later on, this is where we say thank you and goodbye
Thank you.
and hope to see you soon. And we're looking forward to see you soon. So thank you for hanging out with us here, and we'll stop with the recording and start with the
The
Q&A.
Q&A. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you
So
guys.
now, thank you. Let's see.